Hi, my name is Sarah Randolph and I'm with the OSU Extension Office. When we talk about recipe modification, sometimes it loses the texture, and textures are really important, especially when we're talking about crispy foods. That's where the air fryer comes in. An air fryer is a kitchen gadget that actually cooks air with forced hot air. It kind of has the same effect as a convection oven. Different brands have different types of features. This one's just a regular old air fryer. It has a basket, and it's important to have this little perforated mat in here because the air needs to hit on all sides around it. Some of these air fryer models will have maybe look more like a toaster oven and use that feature as well. Some of them they have dual purposes, like an electric pressure cooker with an air fryer, but this one's just our plain air fryer. And if we look here, you can see that it has different types of buttons. This one has an air fryer, roast, bake, and reheat. But today we're going to talk about the air fryer feature. So my air fryer recipe I'm going to share with you tonight is cornflake chicken, as well as some asparagus cooked in our air fryer. So we're going to start by preheating our air fryer. I believe most models do require preheating. Usually takes about 3 to 5 minutes to get up to temperature. For our cornflake chicken we're going to make, we need to have some buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, you can make your own. For this recipe, it only requires a 1/3 cup of buttermilk. So what you'll do is put a teaspoon of vinegar in a measuring cup, and then go ahead and fill it up to the 1/3 mark with milk. Let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then you have buttermilk you can use. Our breading for the chicken is a combination of cornflakes with about 3 tablespoons of cornmeal in it. Once we have all of our chicken breaded and our air fryer is preheated, we'll go ahead and put the pieces in the air fryer. While our chicken is cooking, we're going to go ahead and prepare the asparagus. So I've rinsed it, and now I'm snapping the asparagus apart. You're wanting to get the tender pieces of asparagus apart from the more woody stem, and usually it kind of breaks naturally where you need to get the part that you need to get rid of. After our chicken gets done, we'll put the asparagus in the air fryer. We're going to spritz it with a little oil. We'll sprinkle the garlic salt on it, as well as some Parmesan cheese. Let it cook for about 7 minutes. So our chicken timer has gone off. About halfway through, I did flip these over. And now I'm going to check the temperature to make sure the internal temperature is at least 165 degrees. And it looks like it is ready to go. So we're going to pull out our chicken here and get our asparagus cooking. Once we have our chicken and asparagus cooked, we want to round out our plate with maybe some roasted zucchini or some garden fresh quinoa. And now we are ready to eat a diabetic-friendly supper. While I'm enjoying this, my coworker Kelsey will share a bit about an upcoming program she has.
Good afternoon. My name is Kelsey Ratcliffe, and I am the FCS Area Specialist for Health Disparities here in the Southeast District, and I am here to let you know about an upcoming virtual class. It is for people who are at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. So if you've ever been told that you are pre-diabetic, or that you have pre-diabetes, or if ever you had gestational diabetes while you were pregnant, you may qualify for this class. It is a program offered by the Center for Disease Control. It's called the Diabetes Prevention Program, and it focuses on modest lifestyle changes that can prevent or delay the onset of type 2 diabetes. So if it's something that you think you might be interested in, you can give me a holler at any of these methods right here. So go ahead and take a screenshot right now so that you will have this information later. And while you are looking at this and writing it down, I want to tell you a little bit about the program itself. The program actually lasts for 1 whole year. During that time, you will meet with a group of educators and other participants who are also pre-diabetic. The first 6 months, we will meet virtually 1 time every week. And then after that, the next 6 months, we will meet virtually 1 time every month until the end of the program. So if you think you might be interested in it, give me a holler.
Okay, before I give you that last snack recipe, I wanted to give you just a few tips that will help you use your air fryer a little easier. So when you're using your air fryer, you want to get a small spray bottle filled with, I like to use
olive oil, but any sort of healthy oil, and then you can spray your food in the basket. That keeps it from sticking on the basket, as well as giving your food a little bit of crispness as it cooks. You want to avoid the aerosol sprays like brands like Pam. Those are usually not recommended for most brands of air fryers. They tend to cause the inside basket to flake. As we mentioned earlier, you don't want to overcrowd your food. If you put too much in there at one time, then you risk losing that crispiness that we all like. So while you can use this with lots of foods, you do need to be careful with light items. We learned this the hard way. We were trying to broil a sandwich so that it melted the top cheese, and every time we put it in there, the air that causes the air fryer to work blew the cheese off, and then of course it melted on the basket rather than on the sandwich. So you'll either need to arrange things so that lighter items are on the bottom, or it may not be that the air fryer is the proper item to use for those kind of foods. And finally, these are a digital thermometer. They're pretty cheap, fairly cheap to get, and they're really handy to make sure that the food that you're cooking comes out at the right temperature. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is a quick, easy snack you can make in your air fryer. It is going to be crispy garbanzo beans or chickpeas. They're the same thing, just has different names for the same item. Still don't like that. Okay, I have one more recipe I want to share with you. This is a quick and easy snack that you can make in your air fryer. We're going to make crispy chickpeas. They are, the can may say garbanzo beans. It's the same thing. You want to start by preheating your air fryer to 390 degrees, and this is going to go for 17 minutes. I have rinsed and dried my garbanzo beans. This snack has 16 grams of carbs per serving, and it also has 5 grams of fiber. So we're going to get these lined out in an even sheet across the basket, and this first 5 minutes is just to dry them out. We're not going to put anything on them. We're going to put them back in the air fryer and watch it for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to pull them out and add our oil. Okay, so I'm going to open my basket and add in some oil. Now at this point the beans should all look dry, so I'm going to add some oil. I have been hearing them pop, and that's totally normal. And then once I put them back in here, I'm going to give them a shake about every 5 minutes and continue to do that till we're down to the last 2 minutes. Okay, with 2 minutes left, I'm going to sprinkle about half of the seasoning on. I am using just a ranch dressing powder, but there's all sorts of recipes out there with different flavors, and you can come up with your own. So we're going to sprinkle that around and give it a shake and let it finish cooking. We'll put the rest of the seasoning on after we complete the cooking time. Okay, that's all I need. All right, so we have our roasted chickpeas. We're going to put them in this bowl and finish up the seasoning. Gonna let them cool for a little bit, and they are ready to be enjoyed. As I said earlier, this recipe, as well as the other recipes that we had today, are going to be shared in down below. All right, well, thank you for joining us today.